Welcome in, everyone. We are going to be playing Old World today. I don't know if you guys have seen this game, heard about it or not, but it is definitely an underappreciated game. I've played it for a few hours here now, and I am just kind of loving it. And so we are just going to go ahead and hop in here and take a look at what we have. We're going to be playing as Egypt. And just kind of jumping in. So with that said, let's just go ahead and do it. With the setup, I'm just going to keep everything as it is. I'm pretty new to the game, so I'm not going to change very much here. The big one that everyone will be looking at is the able, the just, the good. In terms of difficulty level, I am going to change this just a little bit here. I feel like I'm probably competent enough to move up in difficulty, but for the most part I just want to take a look at the game, and we'll go through some of the systems and just go through here, and take a look at the game. For those of you that don't know, we are starting as Egypt. Egypt starts with a bunch of different technologies here to go over and to look at. The first one is ironworking, which immediately gives me access to the warrior unit, which is going to be really good for clearing barbarians or maybe different clans that we're taking a look at in order to open up different city sites. So that's going to be super good. We also have stone cutting, which allows me to get the fort, the quarry, and then leads to a couple different technologies. And then Egypt also starts with the labor force, which means that we can immediately start building roads with our workers, which will allow us to connect our cities, get a bunch of trade going, which will get us more money. We can also immediately start with a different law, or choose a law, whether it be slavery or freedom, and look at those different benefits between them, and then it unlocks revelation as well. Egypt has unique buildings over here, and also unique units. We have the light chariot, which ignores zone of control, and is just a really good unit overall. I don't know if we're going to be getting into too much of a military style game, but they also have the Kushite cavalry, which also ignores zone of control, and is considered or it upgrades from the light chariot. As for the buildings that they have the Shrine of Ra, the Shrine of Osiris, the Shrine of Isis. Don't know if I said that right. Sorry if I didn't. And then the Shrine of Neith. So each one of these has their own, potential bonuses, and we might be able to take a look at those once we hop into the game. They have 4 different families that we'll be going over once we get into the game. And our leader is a builder archetype. When we put her in as a governor of our city, she makes it so we have 1 less turn to build our improvements, which is just going to be really, really good. We can also add urban tiles. I'm not 100% certain what that means, whether it means that I can just go ahead and expand my city and just make it more, have more urban tiles in there. I'd have to take a look at that because I don't really know. Multiple workers can build improvements. And then there's a 50% reduction in production time for workers there. There is an additional plus 10 opinion of slavery. So if we were to choose slavery from our starting technology up here, we wouldn't have too many problems in the opinion section. She doesn't have a whole lot of opinion of different hero characters, and she has a great opinion of other builders. We want to build wonders, so we're going to be taking a look at that and building as many wonders as possible. That is the way that we want to build up our victory points, basically. So we are going to build as much wonders as we can, which means that we need to have a pretty solid stone economy. So we'll be taking a good look at that. So that is where we're at, and that is what's going to be happening. So let's go ahead and pop in here and see what we can figure out. Everyone, I am, as some of you may have, so as I go through and as I'm looking at everything, I'm probably going to just be taking my time. I do have a small idea of how the UI works, and I'm just having a really good fun with it, or a really good time with it, excuse me. let's go ahead and read this here. You are Hatshepsut. I hope that I said that somewhere near. Pharaoh of Egypt and the divine voice of Amun. Inheriting the throne from your dead husband, you have united the tribes of Egypt to guide your people into the unknown of this old world. You have used every power at your disposal to secure the throne, and now look to the future. Your legacy is secured by two contenders, your daughter and your son. I'm not even going to attempt it. Oh, it's actually a stepson there. Your husband's son by the concubine, Isis. Isis. I don't know how to say that. The existing civilizations do not yet know the splendor and riches of Egypt, but they will learn. Select your settler and found your capital city. You'll also decide which family manages your first city, gaining their advantages immediately. All right, let's go ahead and hop in here. And right away, uh, let's take a look at what we got here. So first we could see just a bunch of hills over here, which is going to get us um, iron as a resource. You can see all the different resources that we have up here. It's quite an in-depth game, and as we take a look at them, hopefully I'll do it fair justice to go over all the different ones. But trying to go over them all at once is just going to be I think confusing for everyone. Now, when you take your settler, you can settle on any of these predetermined sites. You can see them all highlighted in green. And taking a look at the orange, you can see that choosing the destination changes, or choosing a different hexagon to settle in changes the boundaries of your border. Now, I want as much stone as possible, so I'm going to try and get over here towards these mountains, which is going to give me um, really the most stone that I can get. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop over here because this gets me as far out. It also gives me this camp that I can create over here as well. That might also be, it's actually a pasture, excuse me. Cows, pastures, not a camp. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We have 4 options for which family can settle our city. So we're going to take a look at the first family, which is the Ramesside Riders. You can actually take a look at this here to get an idea of who these are. Riders are a military family with a focus on mounted units. So their family seat is able to build mounted units like war elephants or horsemen without having the associated resource. Rider cities are always connected, which makes riders a good choice for locations that would be harder to connect by roads. If you take a look at it, you can see the different benefits. If we were to found this, we would get +2 training. Training is a resource that you can see up here. We use it primarily to upgrade our units and to get additional orders if necessary. Also, the orders resource you can see down here. This is one of the unique and wonderful functions of Old World. If you're unfamiliar with it, our city, our faction here, Egypt, only has so many orders that we can do. If I were to click on this individual, you can see that this settler can only execute up to 3 orders here. And every time I move, I consume one of those orders, right? If I were to have many different units, I could only move until this amount of orders shows 0. And I can use the training rate to occasionally purchase more orders if I need to. I can also use leftover orders to gain more training rate, which is what it gets converted into if I have leftovers. Cities are always connected. Connected is something to be commended. It's definitely important. It helps our cities with dissatisfaction. It also helps our cities with gold. And then it also has anytime I recruit a mounted unit from one of these cities, they have Saddleborn, which gives me +25% attack power of flanking. And then they can build those units that require those mounts without access to that resource. And when I found the seat, I gain a scout. So yeah, that's the Capital Riders. I don't think that that's necessarily a great opening here, mostly because I'm not really interested in getting mounted cavalry or mounted units at all. I'm just simply trying to build a city, right? My objective is wonder building, right? I don't want to do too much with the Remicide Riders. The next option that we have here is the Site Landowners. The Site Landowners, if you wanted to hover over the little helpful tooltip, excel at expanding your territory. Their focus is on growth, and they have a bonus that allows them to produce settlers and workers more quickly, and landowner cities train rural specialists in half the time. Landowners are a good choice when near crop resources. So we take a look here. The family cities get +2 growth per year. Growth is a measure of how our cities gain population, gain citizens that we can use to train specialists, whether they're rural specialists or urban specialists. They have a -50% production time for our rural specialists, and every time that we have a crop resource that gets improved, we get an additional 20 gold. Gold is, you can see, being tracked up here. We can use that to buy and sell resources up here. We could also use it for various events and different purposes that we can talk about ahead. Now this one is an interesting one to think about, because you could see over here we actually have 3 different resources here for sorghum, right? So that's an additional 60 gold. So it's very possible that I can come out here and I can settle this section right here and start improving the sorghum, which would allow me to get not only more rural specialists in my capital, but also get more gold. And then it will allow me to buy different tiles with money as well. So it allows me to get money and then buy tiles, which may actually help me expand further over here to the stone, which is something that I wanted to do. So that's interesting. That's definitely something that I would like. And right off the bat, when I found this, I get 2 citizens. So I don't get a scout, which will allow me to keep the map a little dark, which is kind of a negative. It's not really that great of a bonus. Exploring has a lot of benefits, and as you'll see a little bit later. So wouldn't get any scouts here. But yeah, that is an interesting one. So the Site Landowners. The next option that we have here is the Amarna. The Amarna, if you wanted to hover over the little tooltip, are clerics. They're primarily focused on religion. So when we found them, when we found a cleric city, we automatically found a world religion and unlock monasticism. Now, monasticism is a fantastic technology here. We could actually go up to our technology screen, which is up here somewhere. Here we go. So our technology screen, you can see that the technology tree is dense, right? It's not as dense as some other games that you're probably familiar with, but monasticism is one of those technologies that's way over here. It's quite far down the line and would take quite a long time, but we would get it immediately the very first time that we settle it. Monasticism would allow access to us building the monastery, which would give me additional science, but it would have to consume wood per year, and then it would allow me to train an apprentice monk. It also gives me additional grove improvements. That is if it's Zoroastrian. Sorry if I butchered that. Apparently I can't say my R's. We could also construct, Jewish, Christian, or Manichaean monasteries, which each, in their own right have, different bonuses that we could look at if we decided to go this route. We also would unlock 2 laws that we can decide upon: monotheism or polytheism. We can kind of decide our religion based off of that. So it's a really fantastic technology. It's really far down the line, and if we were focused on religion, it would get us quite a head start, right? And then we'd also get a religion, and a religion would allow us to found this, and religions are very powerful in Old World. They have a lot of different benefits that can be provided to your population. They have a lot of different interactions with the leaders of the different cities, and they could really help or hurt if you mismanage them. So definitely an interesting route. If you decided to play Egypt, this would be an interesting start for them to just immediately start in on religion. I'm gonna say no because I mean most of the time when I start out on these games, I want to kind of start out right away and get some production going and really build this up. And the only thing that this does is really for our cities is it gives us -2 discontent per year, which is great. We don't want any discontent, but we start out without any discontent already, right? So there's no real need to improve this and to really start. They do have other, improvements. They can build urban improvements on sand. Monasteries and temples have additional 100% output. It takes less time to build disciple units. Yada 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 yada. Not something that I'm looking for. And then the last one is the Thutmose Sages. And the Thutmose Sages are primarily focused on science and specialists. Their cities produce extra civics, and civics are up here. They are used for events and the different decisions that we have to make throughout the game. And it's definitely an important resource. So that's the city is definitely something to keep an eye on, and then it helps us build specialists more quickly, and then we get more science, and then we build more specialists, and then we get more science, and it's just this never-ending loop there. And then when we found the Sage family seat, we get a random technology. Some of the specific bonuses that we get are +2 per year, +2 civics per year. We have a 20% discount on urban specialists. Urban specialists are great, but they typically come a little bit later in the game. Something that we're definitely going to utilize, but maybe just a little bit later. They give us +1 science per year, and then they have an additional +25 yield for our science. Yeah, just based off of those options, it seems pretty clear here that the best option that we're going to do here is the landowners. We want that extra growth to really get us started, and I am going to disable the tutorial here in a second, guys. We'll just kind of deal with it, and then by the time the next episode starts, we will have that gone. Alrighty. Old World's technology and research is fantastic because when we go up here to our technology screen, you can see we have a lot of different choices that we can make. However, all of the available options to us are highlighted here, kind of outlined in yellow. We have labor force, which is green, but all of these ones down here that you see kind of highlighted in yellow and then have the red header kind of up at the top are all the options that we have that are available to us for research. In other games, you could come in here and you could just go ahead and click on, say, I want drama, so I'm going to go ahead and start the game with drama. Old World is not like that. What it does is it treats these as cards, like playing cards in your hand, right? And every time that you research a technology, it shuffles those cards and provides you or draws 3 random options for you to take a look at for your next option. So I can only select from these 3 cards here. And if I had a scholar leader, I could redraw and see what other cards I have down here. But these are my 3 options. So I have to take a look at these and kind of see what I'm working with and kind of what's going on here. So I could get trapping. Trapping would unlock the slinger for me. It would also unlock the camp. The camp would allow me to build improvements over resources such as camels, elephants, camels, elephants, and game, right? If there was a fur resource, we could also use a camp to harvest that as well, it seems. So taking a look at that, we can look at our, kind of our empire here and see there are 2 camps down here that may be worth researching once we get our second one. There's actually a 3rd camp here down with the elephant. So that definitely seems like a technology that we want to have and want to get. The next one is divination, which would unlock all of our shrines. The shrines themselves have different benefits to them, right? The Shrine of Ra will give us half an order every year. The Shrine of Osiris will give us +2 culture. And each one of them provides us, an apprentice acolyte, which is an urban specialist that we can use to further the benefits within each shrine. Good technology. I think I'm going to skip it for now. And then administration. The administration would allow us to build a treasury. It would also allow us to build a granary. The granary gives me +2 growth per year, but it also consumes wood. And then gives us +60% for adjacent farms. This is definitely something interesting and worthy to get. I think this is the best option. The granary is going to be important for us because we're going to be building quite a bit of farms, I believe. Yeah, we'll be building a lot of farms here. So we'll be building the farms here on the sorghum, and we may be able to put, like a granary here, a granary here, and a granary here, and see if we can boost up the production of the sorghum quite a bit. Get 60% extra yield that we are getting from our site family. I wonder if that production also boosts this 20 gold per year per crop resource. So I wonder how that works with the granary. It just has a +60% for adjacent farms. I wonder if that's production of all the different resources that the farm does, like gold, or if it's just the sorghum. So that's actually interesting. I think I'm going to go with that with administration. I'm going to see kind of where that takes me. So immediately, the first thing that our city starts building kind of automatically is a settler. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and you could hit stop, right, and choose something else. But I do want to expand, right? The city state that I see down here, or the city site that I see down here, does look like something that I want to take, right? And definitely looks like something that I want to snag. For these camps. Hopefully the next time I get a technology, I also have camps, so that way I can kind of get it up and running here. But I do believe that this one is going to be the first one to kind of get going here. So let's go ahead and build our farms. We know that's something that we want. You can see here when we hover over the farm, it's going to tell us everything that we're going to get from it. We're going to get +2 growth. And we are going to get that from the sorghum. We're going to get +20 gold per year. We're going to get that from the landowners, and +6 food per year, which is from the farm, the sorghum. And unfortunately, because the sorghum is on arid land, we have minus 40% output. Otherwise, this number would be a little bit higher. It might be like 8 or 7 or something along those lines. And then it would allow us to build a rural specialist farmer. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started on that. You can see that it's going to take us 3 years to build that. This game is set in such a way that every single turn is a year. We also start out with a warrior. I'm going to send him down here just to make sure that the city side is clear. I'm going to put him on the hill. Hill gives a little bit more vision. And then if I park him right here on the city site, the one that kind of has the wall and says city site, then that's going to claim this, right? Meaning that no one could just like walk over here with a settler, grab this, and then settle. Not something that they could do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see here, I'd like to take my scout and start going around the map and uncovering the fog of war, but I have already used all of my orders for the turn for this turn. I can't move him even if I wanted to, right? If I tried to, the tutorial is going to tell me, hey, you can't do that. If I had the tutorial disabled, it would just tell me that I can't do that, right? You can hear that little sound. The decision that I forgot here was to appoint a governor. I am going to go ahead and do me. The reason that I am going to do me as the governor is because I am a builder, and the builder, as a governor, allows me to build my improvements 1 year less. Right, so I'll go ahead and I'll appoint her. I can't appoint her because I don't have enough orders. Okay, time to employ the one of the best features that Old World has to offer, which is the undo button. Right, no longer gonna save scum. but we can just go ahead and undo the last turn here until we have our orders. We're going to go ahead, choose her as our governor. Perfect. And then we are going to take our warrior and move him down with the remaining order that we have. Alrighty. Yep. Got it. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to end our turn, and that is actually going to be it for the very first episode of Old World. I apologize that we haven't really got into much gameplay, but for the sake of time on this video, that's pretty much all that we have. The next time we come back, we will start expanding our empire here. We'll build improvements, and we'll get more into the fundamental gameplay that Old World has to offer us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.